All right, today we're jumping right into the strategic imperative of generative AI. This is a technology that's moving faster than almost anything we've ever seen, and getting a handle on its core dynamics, it isn't just an option anymore, it's an absolute necessity.
Okay, so let's start with the big idea here. This isn't just about AI getting a little bit better or a little bit faster. What we're talking about is a fundamental shift. For years, AI was all about analyzing data that already existed. Predicting trends, filtering spam. But now it's about creating things that have never existed before. It's making the leap from being an analyst to being an autonomous creator.
And this shift is kicking off an economic wave of almost unimaginable scale. We're talking about a projected market size of over $1 trillion in less than a decade. When a number gets that big, it stops being just a tech story. It becomes a story about the entire global economy. The stakes for every single organization are just immense.
So, what exactly is this new creation engine? Let's take a quick look under the hood. Don't worry, we're not going to get super technical, to see what makes this kind of AI so radically different from everything that came before.
Think of the old AI, the kind in your spam filter, like someone who's been taught to follow a recipe. It's given very specific rules, and it learns to follow instructions. But generative AI, it's completely different. It learns by absorbing just massive amounts of data and figuring out the underlying patterns. It doesn't just follow the rules, it learns the principles of creation itself. That's what allows it to produce entirely new, unique stuff.
Now, what's really fascinating on this slide is that key trade-off column. The models that produce the absolute highest quality, most human-like content. We're talking the Transformers that power ChatGPT or the diffusion models behind incredible images. They all come with very high training complexity. And what that really means is their incredible power comes at an astronomical cost. It creates a direct link between having cutting-edge AI and needing a massive amount of capital.
So, how does this powerful, really expensive technology actually translate to the real world? Well, it's not some lab experiment. It's already out there, right now, reshaping entire industries and the very nature of work itself.
A key reason this disruption is happening so incredibly fast is just how easy it is to use. Unlike past waves of AI, you don't need a PhD in computer science to use these tools. Their simplicity means this tech is spreading way beyond the IT department. It's landing directly in the workflows of marketing, legal, sales, and finance teams, which is just accelerating change across the entire white-collar workforce.
And this, right here, this illustrates one of the most surprising impacts. It turns out, generative AI is acting as a great skill leveler. Research shows it provides the biggest performance boost to less experienced or lower-skilled workers, essentially closing the gap between them and their higher-skilled peers. It's making expertise more accessible to everyone.
But here's the other side of that coin. For the first time, really, automation is disproportionately hitting educated, white-collar jobs. We're not talking about routine factory work anymore. As you can see, roles like sales and market research have more than half of their core tasks exposed to automation. This is a fundamental shift in who's being impacted by technology.
Despite this disruption, or maybe because of it, the economic opportunity is just staggering. The productivity gains from this technology are so massive that some models are predicting it could lift global GDP by as much as 7% over the next decade. That's trillions and trillions of dollars in new value.
But, and this is a huge but, with that massive opportunity comes a brand new and really complex set of risks. This isn't some simple plug-and-play technology. It's a strategic minefield that every single leader needs to navigate very, very carefully. The first risk is a physical one. The entire AI revolution, the whole thing, runs on a very specific piece of hardware, advanced chips like GPUs. The supply chain for these chips is incredibly tight, and access to them has become a major geopolitical issue. Let's be clear. Without a secure supply of this hardware, your AI strategy is basically built on sand. The second risk is a legal one. So, if an AI creates your next marketing campaign or a new product design, a critical question pops up. Do you actually own it? The answer might really surprise you.
So, here's the bottom line, and it is absolutely crucial. The U.S. Copyright Office has been crystal clear. Copyright protects human creativity. Simply writing a prompt and hitting generate is not enough to be considered authorship. This means that without substantial creative human modification, that brilliant marketing slogan your AI just created, it has zero legal protection. A competitor could literally just copy it and you'd have no legal recourse.
And finally, there's the regulatory risk. There is no single rulebook for AI. The world is splitting apart on this. You've got the EU building this comprehensive, rights-focused framework, while the US is taking a much more sector-specific approach that's focused on national security. For any global company, this means you have to build a compliance strategy that can navigate two completely different and sometimes conflicting worlds.
So you're facing this incredible technology, all its disruption and all its risks. What's the right move? Well, this 5-point playbook is designed to help turn that massive strategic challenge into a real competitive advantage.
All right, let's walk through it. First, you've got to refocus your talent strategy on retraining, not just replacing. Second, secure your hardware resources for the long haul. Third, and this is critical, shield your intellectual property by making sure a human creatively modifies every single AI output. Fourth, govern for efficiency to keep those escalating costs in check. And fifth, build a flexible compliance model that can actually adapt to that fragmented global rulebook.
Look, at the end of the day, generative AI's impact is no longer in doubt. It will fundamentally reshape the economy and the nature of work. So the question, for every leader, for every organization, is no longer if you will be part of this transformation. The only real question left is, how well will you lead through it?